Hello and welcome to the Money Queen podcast. I am Alex Nicolaitis, the Money Queen. I'm here to unite the masculine and feminine energetics of money and invite you in joining me to break the stigma of we don't talk about money here. I will deliver the loving bitch slaps that you need in your business to elevate you as a leader and support you to that next level and welcoming in the wealthiest version of yourself. With over 13 years in the accounting and bookkeeping industry, I utilize the support of the masculine in systems, structure, support, and ATO compliance, combined with the feminine of the energetics of mentoring, guiding, getting really curious. So hit that subscribe button, leave me a rating, and I cannot wait to have you by my side as we raise the feminine collective and create true generational wealth and change. Welcome to episode 6 of the Money Queen podcast. Today, we are talking about the way that you buy things and how you can actually level that up in your world. So, a concept that I heard recently, and I was like, actually, that's how I spend. That's how I invest, was focusing more on purchases that you actually fucking love and that you need, as opposed to purchases that you like or that you want. The psychology and the intention behind these two alternatives, the love and the need, as opposed to the like and the want, are completely different. So let's break it down. There's a lot of things in my world. The last 12 months, I became really intentional around buying things that I fucking love. 12 months ago, when I did my mindful money plan, I listed out 12 things in my world that I could invest in every month, one thing a month, that would level up myself, that would call forward the wealthiest version of myself. A few things on this list was a trip to South Australia, because that feels really expensive to me and expansive. Last 3 years ago now, Perth was that for me. And when I went to Perth, I was like, yes, this gets to be a level up. This gets to move through a wealth barrier of mine, a wealth belief of mine, that you can only go to Perth if you're wealthy, right? That belief came from my parents and from society, because there's a lot of fly in, fly out workers there. And I'd heard from the news, from society, from my parents, from how I grew up, that only wealthy people are over there because the wages over there are so high that it inflates their economy. So I'd put this limitation on myself that until I was wealthy myself, I couldn't go to Perth, right? Until I went there, until I chose a different outcome, until I chose to lean into my wealth barriers and say, not today, my friend, not today. I'm choosing something different. And when I was there, I've made some beautiful friendships when I was there. I went there to do my NLP course, my neuro-linguistic programming course. And I've created some beautiful, beautiful friendships as an outcome of leaning into discomfort. So now for me, South Australia, Adelaide, that seems a bit expansive for me. And I've not done it just yet, but it is going to happen in my next 12 months. So other things that are on my list was a new wallet, a new handbag, some sunglasses, because another story. Sunglasses that I had bought like 5 years ago on a holiday at the airport because I was going to Bali, I think it was. I didn't have sunglasses, and so I just bought a cheap pair of $10. And it lasted me for years. They lasted for ages. And I was like, excellent, great. And then at the time, I was like, I'm kind of over these. I'll invest money into buying some really expensive sunglasses. And really expensive to me at the time was like $150. So I bought these new pair of sunglasses, and they didn't last very long. So I was like, that was a waste of money. I can't invest more than $5 or $10, whatever it was, on sunglasses again in my world until I'm wealthy. Until this is, because at the moment, it's a luxury purchase. I bought sunnies at the airport for like $5, $10, and they lasted me years. Then I went and spent $150 on designer sunnies, and they literally lasted like 2 or 3 months before they became out of shape. And I was like, well, that's not worth it. So I put a limitation on myself. I built up a wealth barrier for me. I created another story in my world that I was like, no, you don't invest in sunglasses. You don't invest in sunglasses because it's not worth it until you're wealthy, until you have X amount in your bank account, until you can replace them every couple of months and it be like a no-brainer. Now, in the last 12 months, with creating that list of 12 things that I would love in my world to lean into the wealthiest version of myself. And as I have lived through the last 12 months, I have invested in most of those things on that list. And if they weren't on that list, new things have come into my awareness because of how my life has unfolded and expanded that have replaced a few things on that list. This microphone that you are listening to me through, or if you're watching on YouTube, because we're on YouTube, so you can see me present this to you if you would like. It wasn't on the list 12 months ago because creating a podcast wasn't in my awareness. But as I evolved as a money coach and a business mentor, and as I developed as a leader, I was like, yeah, my voice gets to be heard. My opinion matters. I have something to say, and I'm choosing to be the generational shift. How can I create more impact? I can do that via a podcast. I can do that via this platform. So I invested $200 in getting this podcast mic to elevate my world, to step into the wealthiest version of myself, to lean into the most authentic version of myself, because the most authentic version of myself is okay with it if she feels safe in owning her truth, in owning her message, in speaking loud and proud about money to many women, to many hundreds of thousands of women. And that's what this podcast gets to be. I no longer buy into the story of being in the back fucking corner, shutting my mouth, shutting my legs, and closing myself off to opportunities and only speaking when being spoken to, that my opinion does not matter, that it does not hold as much weight as other people in the room. Fuck no. That is my most authentic self, and therefore my most wealthiest self. If you've listened to earlier episodes, I talk about that at length. Meeting the wealthiest version of yourself is getting connected with and embodying the most authentic version of you. Go and have a listen if you haven't already. You're welcome. So it's my world now is filled, or is becoming more filled, with purchases and experiences and people that I fucking love. Because I've been more intentional about what does that actually even look like via my Mindful Money Plan, which is the last episode that I created. If you haven't listened to that, go and listen to that. You're welcome again. It's just like having a bestie in your back pocket. Bestie that loves money and allows you to elevate your relationship with money. You're welcome. So many you're welcomes. Anywho, we digress. So, yeah, there's so many more things in my world right now, things, people, experiences that I'm like, I love this. I got ready for an event a couple of weeks back and I put on a dress and I was like, oof, I feel sexy in this dress. I had some lingerie underneath it and I was like, oof, that is a full body fuck yes. I then was like, oh, where's my wallet? Picked that up and I was like, oof, yes, I love this. And I was like, okay, wallet needs to go in a bag. Oh, there's my bag. Oh, I love that bag. And then it was a day event, so I needed sunglasses. I picked up my sunglasses, which I bought a new pair of, and putting them on and just checking out how I looked and how I felt before I left my apartment. I was like, girl, yes, fucking yes to this. Literally everything that I had on and how I was feeling, most importantly, it's not about the external, it's about the internal. I was like, fuck yes. I feel so confident right now in who I am, in who I'm choosing to be, in the woman that is literally stepping outside of this apartment right now. And because of that internal shift, because I'm connected with my most authentic self, because I'm wearing the fucking lingerie underneath there, no one's going to see that, but I know that. I know that. No one is going to know my sunglasses story, but I know that. And that creates a level of embodiment that no one else sees the behind the scenes of, but they feel the impact of that. Because I show up in a completely different way, embracing all of me, being loud and proud of my voice, of contributing to the conversation, of elevating the room. If you've been in an event with me, you know that the vibration that I bring is fucking fire. Especially around end of financial year, if any of you were around me then, you were like, how are you so excited about numbers and about this time of year? I'm like, how can you not be? Right? It's an exciting time of the year. It gets to be that if you choose it. I would not be this level of embodiment, this little bubble of like excitement, this big bubble of excitement rather, if I didn't allow myself to connect with my most authentic self, my truest self, and therefore my wealthiest version of myself. And I get to do that by buying things that I absolutely love. And there's intentionality in that. There's planning behind that. And it's creating a life that I fucking love. That I fucking love. Right? So then the other part of this is love purchases and need purchases. The things that I need in my world in order to survive is food, it's shelter, it's water, it's clothes. So when I purchase, it's, okay, I need food for the week. Great. Basic human need. Shelter, rent, mortgage, done. Clothes, obviously need some bra and undies and all the things. But those things that I need to survive. Great, tick. And then everything else is love. That's the paradigm that I operate in. Another way of living, another paradigm of investing your money is buying things that you like and that you want. If you see a bag and you're at the shops and you're like, oh, that's a nice bag. Yeah, I've got money in the bank. Okay, cool, done. And then you walk to the next shop and you're like, oh, that's a cute top. Yeah, I mean, I've only got one of those tops and yeah, I guess it's in season. Oh, it's on sale. Oh, it's on sale. Yeah, cool. I'm saving $20. Never mind you the fact that it's $200. Oh, it's a bargain. I saved $20. You buy the thing, you buy the transactional thing, you get home and you're like, fuck, I forgot that I actually bought something very similar just last week. So now you've got more in your world. You've got more things in your world. You've got more shit in your world taking up space because you forgot that you bought something very similar just last week because you got distracted with a shiny fucking object. And you were like, ah, that looks nice. Cool, I'll have that. I like that. I'll get it. I want that. Yep. Chuck it in the trolley. Add to cart. You get home and you're like, I've got no room in my cupboards. I guarantee you probably only fucking wear 10% of it. But I've got all these options. Yeah, but do you use it? Is it actually being used? When you open up your wardrobe, are you actually excited by what's in there? Or are you overwhelmed by all of the options in there and end up choosing the same fucking thing 9 times out of 10? The society that we live in these days it's so easy to buy more things. It's incredibly easy to do online ordering without intentionality. Just because it's easy, like just because you can, it does not mean that you should, right? So by implementing a mindful money plan, last episode, by purchasing things from a love place or a need place, you're elevating the paradigm that you live in. And what I mean by a paradigm, it's literally like your operating system. It's like, how do I choose to show up in this world? How do I choose to wake up? What does my environment look like? What am I cultivating in my world? That's what I mean by paradigm. And by buying things that you like and you want, it's feeding into that consumerism. It's feeding into that culture of like, it's so easy to buy this just because I can. Yeah, okay, cool, done. Transactional. So transactional as opposed to intentional. How do I want my life to look like? What do I want my business to look like? If my business growth and my personal growth is so incredibly invaluable to me right now, that's where my money is going to be going. That's where I'm going to be investing. As opposed to when I'm out at the shops, buying shit that you don't need with money that you probably don't even fucking have to impress people that you don't even like, to keep up with the Joneses. For what purpose? For what purpose? Is that your actual life? Or are you just being a sheep? Your choice. In order to get clear on that answer, it's a radically honest conversation with yourself. Am I buying things from a like and a want mentality, or a love and a need mentality? If you are listening to this episode and are picking up what I'm putting down and are ready to unpack and elevate your money story, then pop over to my website and see the money coaching package that is calling your name. Find out for yourself why I have been called the money queen that everyone needs in their life. After working with me, my clients are reclaiming their power in their business, and this has seen them bring hundreds of thousands of dollars into their businesses after having me on board their team. Are you ready to expand? Then let's fucking go, queen. Book in a call with me on my website, which is alexunscripted.com, to show the universe that you are here for everything that you fucking desire and you are taking action. I guarantee you that if you are operating from that like and want, there's a lot of fucking shit in your house right now or your apartment right now. And there's also a lot of people in your community who would love those things in their world. What happens when you gift, when you donate, when you sell, when you remove these from your world? It's a ripple effect. You pass those on to other people and they would love them in their world. You are contributing to someone else's abundant world, their abundant life. And you are also creating space in your world for more abundance, so that something else can come into your space, into your world, and create something different. Or perhaps an even scarier thing for you is you're creating space to actually have some space and have some breathing room. How does that land with you? I know for myself in my calendar, it's been a challenge for me in the past, and I'm still working on it to an element, that blocks in my calendar with free space means I'm not successful. I used to live in a world where my calendar had to be full in order for me to feel fulfilled in my business. But what that actually did was burn me the fuck out. I started to resent the business. I started to not enjoy waking up every morning and going into the office because I was like, ugh, my calendar is overflowing. And back then I was a people pleaser. So even though it was already overflowing, I wasn't in the practice of saying no to people. So it got even fuller during the day. And then I let people down. I let myself down. I didn't allow support in my world. So I got frustrated by the people around me because they weren't supporting me. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I was cock blocking myself by not allowing myself to receive that support. So Slightly off track, but gold in there nonetheless. Right? Life is overflowing with likes and wants. Right? But is there space for love? Is there space for love purchases, love experiences, love people? Because if your world is full of likes and wants, people, experiences, and things, there's actually no space for love to come into your world, for that deep desire, that full-bodied fuck yes purchase. This chair that I'm sitting on right now, and I'm probably going to talk about it in every episode, not sorry whatsoever. And if you're watching YouTube, I'm stroking it right now because it's like velvet and it feels amazing. Right? If you can't tell, I'm obsessed by it. Yeah, again, sorry, not sorry. But buying this, when I had a vision, when I was creating this podcast, I was like, I recorded my first few episodes, and then I was like, I got curious. What does the next evolution of this podcast look like? It looks like having a pretty background. What does that pretty background include in it? It includes a chair. What would I want that chair to look like? And I pictured this exact chair. Did a quick Google. Found the freaking exact chair. And I was like, it's $300. It's a full-bodied fuck yes from me. I purchased it within like 10 minutes. And then I told a few friends, and I was like, actually, I think that this chair is on my vision board for the branding that I brought into my world 6 months ago. Pulled up the document, pulled up the Pinterest board, and there it was. There it was. I allowed myself to dream about the vision of my future business. And then by taking action over the last 6 months, when an opportunity arose to bring in this chair into my world, my subconscious knew that I wanted this chair in my world. And I found it. And then I reconnected with that previous version of myself. My body caught up with my unconscious state. My body caught up with my dreams because I allowed myself to dream, to future-proof, to be like, what does the next 12 months look like? What do I want my branding to evolve into? And now I'm sitting on this beautiful fucking chair and I'm obsessed by it. It was a full-bodied fuck yes purchase and I love it. I love the person that I feel like I am when I'm sitting in here. I love that it encapsulates my whole body. I love that when I'm wearing pants, I'm wearing a skirt right now, I can literally cross my legs in it to allow myself to receive, to have my legs open whilst I'm having a conversation with you. And my whole body feels safe in it. It feels held in it. If I would have just bought any chair, my normal office chair that's sitting behind me right now, if I would be recording this in my normal office chair, I would not have this enthusiasm. I would not have this magnetizing presence. I would not have this vivaciousness about me. Because that was a like and a want purchase. Right? It was a like and a want purchase. I like the chair, get the chair. But this chair, the green chair, this is a love chair. And it's already elevating my world. So I trust that in this episode you have seen the difference and heard the difference and can resonate in your world. Things that you have bought previously that you were like, yeah, that was a full-body fuck yes purchase. That was a love purchase. And how do I feel in relationship to that love purchase is actually completely different to how I've felt with other things that are in my apartment, in my life, in my world right now, that it's like, oh yeah, I bought that actually on a whim. And there's a lot of shit in my world. And that gets to be released to create space for more love purchases to come into your world, or to leave that space open for possibilities, to leave that space open for different opportunities to come into your world. Because if there is no space, your life is literally full. You cockblock yourself from remaining open to whatever your body has not yet connected with, but unconsciously you have, just like this chair. If I'd already bought a chair that I was like, oh yeah, that'll do, when I saw this chair online, I'd be like, but I don't have space for it. Fuck. I wish I had space. So I encourage you to have a look around your apartment, have a look in your environment. What are things that you can let go of to create space? How can you move forward with your mindful money plan from last episode? Or how can you move forward into embodying that purchasing pattern of love and need as opposed to like and want? Get clear on what your spending patterns get to be. Are they in alignment with the values that you have? Are they in alignment with the life that you are choosing to bring into your world? Your choice. Thank you, Queen, for saying yes to your yes in listening to this episode and being a part of raising the feminine collective one conversation at a time. Remember to share this episode with your business besties and join me in breaking the tabooness around having money conversations. As always, if you have enjoyed this episode, please rate, subscribe, and share this on your social media, remembering to tag me in it to help this conversation go further, which creates a bigger ripple effect.